If you have your camera on, you could turn it off. Okay, so last week we stopped at removing the package, right? Yeah, so let's continue. So let me see what else we do. Yum. Okay. So I say yum auto remove httpd. So okay, so what we're gonna do now is if you want to remove unused packages, right? So what you need to do is you just have to let me clear this. So what I'm going to type is I'm going to type package hyphen cleanup, then hyphen leaves. Okay, yum package cleanup leaves. So okay, so what I'm gonna do is you have to install a utility, okay, that helps you clean up the package here. Okay, so you have to do yum install yum-utils. Okay, and then I'm going to do -y. Okay, so what we are doing is we are installing a package which is not by default included in the system here. Now this package is going to help us remove the package here. So loaded leaves. Okay, so what happened is this package is okay. So what will happen is these two packages will be removed here. So what I'm going to do is yum package cleanup. So what this will do is actually it will give you the list of packages that is no longer needed here. So what you have to do is you just have to type um, so it depends on your system. Yeah, your system may or may not have more than one package. My system has only one package to remove here, so you don't need this package. So what you could do is you could copy this yum auto remove. Okay, and then you type this here. Okay, and it will tell you, are you sure you want to remove this? Yes. All right, so you just run this line here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is did I show you how to install the package groups here? Yum upgrades. Yum so I'm gonna remove this part here. I'm gonna cut it and I'm gonna put it here. So far we've been playing around installing a single package here, okay? But also there are group packages that are available. You could install as a group. So let me put this here as a color. Okay, so you type yum group list. So these are the available groups you could install here. Okay, so let me see if anything is installed. Available environmental groups and available groups here. So these are split up into two groups here. One is available group and environmental group. Okay, so I think you also have yum group list hidden. Okay, now what you're seeing here is there are some hidden groups here available here. Most of the time you really don't need this, but it is giving you some extra capabilities here like X Windows, virtualization client, a remote desktop client. So all some of these things you won't be using it as much, but what is done here is they put it into as a group here because you barely use some of those groups. Okay. All right, so let's see here. Let me clear this. So if you want to see the groups which are installed here, you type yum group list IDs. Okay, and it's not showing us. There is no. We are getting an information here says there is no installed group. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick one. Uh, you know what? Yum group list IDs. Okay, so here I'm gonna show you. Okay. So I'm gonna pick one group here. For example, security tools. Okay. I'm gonna put it in here, and you see here why these are into security groups, and also it has security hyphen group here. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how you install it. Let's see how you use this information to install the group. Okay, so what you could do is you could run a command like yum group install. Okay, and what you could do is you could give a name here. Okay, so you go to security. You have to type exactly the way it shows. Security tools. Okay. you can use any of the following format to install it. Install the group package. So I'm going to put this here. So this part is security name, okay? I mean, not security name, group name. And this part is group ID. So you use this here yum install security. So you're using group name here. Okay, and if you use yum group install, and if you're using like security tools -tools, you don't have to put in quotes here. So this is using group ID. Okay. Okay. All right. So what else you could do is, instead of typing yum group install, you could also type yum install. You type like @ and then security groups. Okay, and you could do yum install, and then you could type then you type security tools -tools. Okay, either you could do this way or you could do this way. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna put this 5. Either you could install this way or this way. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to install security groups here. I'm going to just follow one of the silly examples here. So when I ran this here yum group list ID, it says there are no installed groups. Okay, and then it's going to give you the output of available ones. So what I'm going to do is, following this method here, simply I'm going to do yum install, and then I'm going to sign @ and I'm going to give security tools, and I'm going to hit enter. So it has about 5 packages here. So I'm going to say yes and hit enter. Okay, so the group is installed. Install the group. Okay, and what you could do is, after a while, if you need to update the group here, you could simply do this here. Yum group update. Okay, and then you type security. Oh god. Okay, so if there was any update, it would definitely have done an update for you. Okay, so install group, update group. Okay, and now let's remove the group here. So pretty simple. Um, let me clear this. So you type yum group remove, and then you say security tools, security hyphen tools. So it's gonna say you want to remove one package here. Well, if you want to remove the entire group, what you're gonna do is you just say yum auto remove. Okay, so let's see here. Yum or yum group. Yum remove one package. Let's see here. I'm gonna type yum group remove at security tools. It says there is okay, let me continue on. Erasing, remove. Okay, so there is no auto group, so just you have to remove just the group like this way. So there is no auto remove for the group. Okay, you just do this here, yum group add security group. Okay, all right, good. So what else? We did the update. Uh, Give me vi/etc/yum.conf. Okay, I'm gonna do yum list okay, yum group list IDs. Okay, so what am I looking here is system admin tools. Okay, so I was going to show you one group. You type yum group install system admin tools. So maybe yum group mark install. Warning, group system tool does not have any packages to install. Okay, we're good here, so let's move on. So what I'm gonna do is now this is like a separate topic kind of. We're gonna work on yum updates. Yeah, did I show you already how to do? Yum lips updates. So okay, manage OS updates. Okay, so if you type yum check update hyphen updates, so these are the updates which are available for you. Okay, so it gives you, prints the list of updates which are available. Okay, all right, now so what happens is you may have some obsolete package in your system. So if you want to check for obsolete package, you just type check for obsolete. So you type yum list obsoletes. So the yum has found it got like 2 packages which are obsolete here. Okay, so you don't have to update everything here, you just have to determine how this is working here. So normally you work in a team environment to determine how you're going to do the updates. So what you could do is let's see here, this package is there, so this is an obsolete package. Okay, so I'm going to clear the screen. So how you going to do the package? That's it, yum update, then the package name. So what I'm going to do is yum update Okay, I'm going to do a package name. So what it's going to do is actually telling you here right now it's replacing the firmware, and it is a 22.0. This is the old one, so it's going to update with the new one here. So we'll say yes. Okay, so the package has been updated successfully. Installed replace. And you ran this command. Okay, so let's see, we're doing pretty good so far. Clear. So if you want to do a blanket update for your whole environment, okay, what you're going to do is yum update. Okay, and then let me hit enter. So it says it's going to install one package and it's going to upgrade 138 packages. Okay, so it found one package, one new package, and then upgrade existing packages. And this one here is add this new package. So it's going to give you the list here. So let's go ahead and go see kernel tools. Okay, so it will also do the kernel update. So you got to be careful when we're doing the kernel update here. I'm gonna expand that on to tell you what it does is. Now I'm gonna say no. Okay. So Okay, and a new kernel is okay. All right. So what I'm gonna do is let me expand this on what is kernel. So what is kernel? Okay, kernel. Let's see here. Okay. Hardware kernel of shell. Okay, you say. Kernel. I'm trying to look for a good picture here. Uh, okay, yeah. Let's copy this. So the kernel is the is the is the operating system. No, it's not the operating system. It's a code between the hardware and the operating system here. Okay, this is the operating system. It is running the shell and it's running commands and everything. So this is a little kernel software between the full on operating system and the hardware. And operating system. Okay, so here it's saying here, right, it's these are the commands it's showing here, but this is actually a operating system, and on top of that we have application. So that's another story. So we're gonna upgrade the kernel. Okay, so let me clear this.
Sir, you mentioned this word shell, which is written in the center as well. What is this thing?
Yeah, shell is it's one of the shell. The one we are typing here, command line interface is shell. The one we are using this is shell here. So shell is one of the programs, and these are all the other programs. So you see, it should all this should be ls, vi, and all those here, bash, k shell, and all these. These are part of our operating system. When we install it from the CD, it took a little while to install it, right? So what happens is when we are sending any information to the hardware, so for example, if we are sending the system to shut down, what it's going to do is it's going to take this, it's going to take input from here and give it to the kernel. And what kernel is going to do is it's going to process and actually shut down the hardware. So kernel is the little operating system, little software between the real hardware and operating system. So most of the time you just have to remember this in principle. If you see this, this is a visualize. This is the operating system. This is the first layer. The block is hardware, and on top of that hardware is kernel, and from kernel is a operating system, and on top of operating system we could install other applications. Okay. So don't stress too much on this here. What you're seeing here is that's what it is. It's just a little software between the real operating system and hardware. So when we install the operating system, there is a hardware, then kernel gets installed first. After that, the operating gets installed. So one other thing before this is I'm going to show you if you want to just do the security updates, you just type yum update, then you type hyphen security. Okay, it says no packages needed for security. 139 are available. So what it means is the security packages are up to date here. No packages are needed for security here. Okay, let me run one more command. update hyphen minimal okay. So right now our system is pretty up to date here, okay? So if you need to run the security update, you have to do this. Insert below. Okay, so I'm gonna say yum uname hyphen r. Okay, so should I have given the security update? Give me 1 second here. Yum kernel tools. Okay, so when there are updates available here, right? When you checked here, there are system-wide updates available here, but there are no security risk at this time here. You could continue using without update the system, but when you run this here, if it's not showing any security package, no, it says no package needed for security, but it says 139 packages are available. So where is this information coming from here? This information is coming from yum update. Generally speaking, there are 139 packages which are available. You could update it, okay? But when you look into the security perspective, you don't really have to do the update here. As far as the security is concerned, the system is secure. Okay, so you have to run this from time to time. Okay, so I'm gonna clear this. I'm gonna say security specific update may or may not be available. Okay, and this is the same thing too. but these are the general updates here. Alright, so in the general updates you have a kernel update also. So when you type uname -r, uname-r, you get the information about the kernel. uname-r. What this does is this will give you the this will give you the specific information about the kernel here. Okay, so when you go up, did I copy the kernel information here? Yeah. So during the part of where is kernel? Okay, yeah, a new kernel is also available here. So let me highlight this. Okay, so look at this here. The kernel versioning. Look at this part here. This is 11.1127 and this is 10.062 here. So let me break this down how this works here. Okay, so let's see here. Yum list install. Okay. So first, what you have to do is you have to run this command here, yum list installed. So what you have here is you have this kernel information coming up here, and the one which has underline is the current installed kernel here. These are the supporting tools. Okay, so let's see here. So it's underlined is current kernel. So how do we know? We confirmed here that right here this is the version here, and also when we type uname-r, this is the version is showing up here. Okay, so don't worry. What I'm gonna do is, before we go any more deeper here, I'm gonna restart the system here. Which one is it? 192, 56, 100. Okay, so I'm going to clear this. Okay, I'm going to restart the system. Pay close attention here. Okay, so I'm going to say init 6. Okay, the system is restarting, and okay, I'm going to interrupt this here. So don't worry about this. There is another full chapter here, what I'm going to show you here. So what is happening here is, right now the system this is the kernel version here. So you have an option here to interrupt this and change how the kernel is behaving here before it hits the operating system. So when this comes up and when you interrupt this pushing any key on the keyboard, what happens is it's giving you the information here that this is the version of the kernel available, and there is some information you could do and mess around with this here. That's a different chapter, but this is the kernel which is installed right now. So I'm gonna do a screen grab here. Okay, don't stress too much on it, but kernel is very important. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna reboot that kernel. So let me go back here. I'm gonna hit enter. It's gonna continue on. So yeah, it's ready. So I'm gonna log back in again. I'm gonna say clear. Why is my open? Okay, let's not worry about that now here. So, oh, okay, so I'm gonna type uname-r, and this is the information I have here. So I'm gonna break this down. I'm gonna break this down here. I'm gonna break this down how this what it actually means. Matter of fact, you could use this as a breakdown for any other package also. Okay, kernel breakdown. So what you have here is package name is okay. How many I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm gonna open this up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So here 3 it says is a major version. Let's go backwards here, okay? We're gonna go backwards. So x86 under 64, that means this is a architecture. This is a 64-bit architecture. Everybody heard about 64 and 32-bit, right? Everything should be on 64-bit going forward here. Everything else has kind of moved from 32-bit to 64-bit. So this is a 64-bit architecture. Okay. And the next part is EL17. Okay, so EL17 stands for Enterprise Linux. If it says if it doesn't say EL, then that's not an Enterprise Linux. Okay, Enterprise Okay, so Enterprise Linux version 7. Okay, if it's EL6, then it would be version Enterprise Linux version 6. Okay, good. And 1062, what this means is this is a Red Hat version. Okay, this is a Red Hat version. Okay, good. And 0 means this is just a patch. So there is no patches. Okay. This is a patch. And 10, what does 10 means is a major revision. Major revision. Okay, and then 3 means this is a major version.
So if for like major version and major revision, if the figure is, let's say, instead of 10, it's something else, so would it mean something like for major revision? What is that?
So it depends here. It goes like 3.1, 3.2, 3.2, 3. Then goes like 10.10, 3.10 here, right? And then the newest version we have here is 3.10. Okay, so this is not changing here, only the Red Hat version is changing. So what will happen here is, so if this changes, if major version changes to 4, that means it will probably Red Hat 8. Okay, And Red Hat, okay, so I'm gonna say RHEL major versions. So Red Hat 4, 5, 6, and where is the visual? Let's look at the images. Seven 7.1, and this is 2019. It's not giving me enough information here. Versions. Life cycle. Okay. 8. Red Hat 5, 6, 7 is bundling it up here. Maintenance support. Okay. Okay. All right here. So let's go up here. 3, 2. Okay, so Red Hat 2.1 is stopping at 2.4. Okay, and then 3. It picked up from 2.4. It picked up as a Red Hat Linux 3. Okay, and number 4 it picked up from 2.6. Okay, and 5 it picked up the kernel from 2.6 to whatever version it went up to. And then 6 is also stuck on 2. 7, they did a major overhaul. They got rid of how the architecture is designed, and they started 3.1. So they stopped at 2.6, okay, and then they started as 3.10, and it has so these are all the patchworks. The Red Hat version is going on here. There are no patchworks here. Only the little version is changing and not big version here. So right now we are at 10.062. When was this released? This was released in August of last year. So the new one that came out is in March of this year. So what we're going to do is we're going to upgrade to the latest version here. And then 8, they abandoned 3.10 and they kind of went into 4.180. They call it as a Red Hat 8. Okay, so it's a little bit confusing here, but don't stress too much on it. You will be working in a team environment anyway. So when we're going to upgrade it here, our system is going to show us, this part is going to show us 11.27. So looks like that's the final for Red Hat 7. We will have the latest version of Red Hat 7. So let's go ahead and do this. How we're going to do this? And where is this sits in? It sits in /boot. So I go into cd boot. I do ls -l. Well, I don't want to get up today, but oh, by the way, there is no class tomorrow. So anybody, can we catch up with tomorrow's class on Monday? Monday is off, right, for everybody? So think about it and let me know in the group chat here if you want to have, we'll do a vote here. So if we get a majority, then we could have a class on Monday, okay? But there is no class tomorrow, Sunday. We'll have a class Monday. If people don't agree, then we'll just continue on. So don't worry about it. I'm going to catch up. We have
Okay, sir.
Yeah, go
Okay,
ahead.
sir. I think I am fine.
Yeah, go ahead and put it. Everybody put it in group. That way, I get everybody's opinion. And if everybody is comfortable, then we'll have it Monday. If not, then we'll just continue on. But there is definitely no class tomorrow. Okay. All right. Good. So. So all the kernels sits in /boot. So on the bottom one is our current kernel. And then if the system is running BIOS based, go into cd boot and /grub 2. Okay, this is grep to config. Okay, so vi. Okay, so to edit the grub, you have to go to vi/etc/default grub. Grub disable. Yeah. Well, we'll come back to this here. There is another class I'll hold, but for informational here, just don't worry about this too much. And run grub2.mkconfig /boot/grub2 cfg. Okay, don't worry about this. We will come back to this here. We'll come back to this when I okay, and all right, good. So let's go ahead and update the kernel. So what we did was yum list available kernel, right? So when you see this, when you run this update here, it means this is available in blue. Available package kernel is in blue. Okay. So when you run this list, and then what it does is it's checking against what you already have, and it will tell you this is the one which is available. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and update the kernel. Okay, yum update kernel -y. So what it's going to do is automatically update the kernel. Okay, still, did I get disconnected? Root. Okay, so vi slash etc. Okay, so the kernel update is complete. So let's do uname -r. So the kernel is not set to default yet. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to clear this. And then where do you set the kernel default? You go into vi etc grub2.cfg. Okay, and you go through this line here. CentOS Linux 3.1. So what was the file we earlier looked at? The folder it goes into is so all the
I think it was etc default.
Yeah, no, hold on, cd boot. Okay, so our kernel goes and sits in here. Okay, you could see the kernel is here. The old and new kernel is there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, so when you restart the system, the old kernel will still be highlighted here. So I'm going to do init 6. Okay, oh no, the new kernel is set. Okay, so the system is going to boot into new kernel. At the same time, you have an option to go to the old kernel too. When it's rebooting, you could go to the old kernel. Okay, so, but let me tell you which line, uh, restart session, root, so we go into cat /etc/grub 2.cfg, and then I'm going to grep for the line CentOS. It's not bringing that. Let me run a awk command. Awk awk -f and $1 equals menu entry okay, and oh, /etc/grub 2 dot squiggly bracket print. I talked about awk command right before. I think,
Yes, sir. It was I think a cut command.
yeah. Okay. Alright, yeah, go ahead and run this command. What it's going to give you is going to give you here this output. This is the output when we saw the machine that come up here, right? The first one was highlighted. It's reading this line here. When the machine is coming up. Okay, yeah, this is the menu. See, we ran this command to get this menu here. This is the menu here. And first one is set to 11.27. Okay, so you hit enter. But officially, before you reboot, you're supposed to set this here as so 0 0 and so this is the position for this is 0. Position is 0, and this position is 1. Position is 1. So let me reconnect here. So you have to, before you reboot, you have to set this as the position. YouTube grub 2 -set default. Okay, let's go ahead and set the default to 1 here and see if it's gonna go back to the previous one. I'm gonna restart 6. Okay, now you see I set it as 1 here. So the position in here is the previous version goes back to 1, and the new version it goes back to 0 here. Okay, so you could play around in here how you do this. Okay, so I'm gonna restart here. Uname -r. So it went back to the previous version. Okay, so let me go ahead and put it back to the latest version here, 0. And then I'm gonna reboot. Alright, you guys are seeing what is happening here, right? If you master this skill, I will guarantee you'll be like highly paid. You will be in a 6-figure salary for sure, no doubt about it. You will be working on a servers which are running, Apple, Google. You could be end up working for NASA and all that. These are critical systems you will be working on. So learning Linux is you automatically put you in a high paying salary. Okay, so now, okay, you must have seen that it was automatically highlighted to the latest version. Okay, there you go. Okay, so all right, everybody, let's go ahead and run that update here. So what will happen is right now we are not into the GUI mode here, right? So what will happen is when we run the update, we're gonna go into the basic GUI mode. So far we have installed the basic Linux OS, basic version of Red Hat 7. So when we did from the CD, we did only the basic version here, remember? So what you're gonna do is run this here, yum update -y. Okay, go ahead and do this here. It will give you the it will actually, when you reboot the system, it will go back into the GUI version. So I think I have it here. It will come back into the one of this version I have is GUI version here. This is the reason I was saving it up, so that I come back into the GUI version. This is another system I have here. Come on. So I'm going to go ahead and let this run here. Yum-update and hit enter. Make sure you still keep the very old version too. Very first version you install, just leave it alone. Don't touch it. Yeah, the very first version you have is updated version here. So just leave it alone. And the practice one you've been doing, just go ahead and run this, and it will install 138 packages. First it will check it, then it will install it, then it will no, first it will check it, download it, then verify it, then install it. So if you have an internet connection, it shouldn't take long, maybe half hour. If you do have a slow connection, it may take a longer. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and end the class here. I will catch up either I will see if you want to catch up Monday, we'll do this. If not, then we'll do it next week. Okay. Everybody have a good week.